Work jackets. There are probably more damned work jackets out there than any other category. And of course, it depends on what you need. Are you out in the rain? Are you out in the slush? Do you need something that's insulated? Do you need something that's going to keep you protected and cool? Short, long, hooded, non-hooded, all kinds of options depending on what your needs are. So in this video, I took 3 very similar, short, drop hem, insulated work jackets from 3 different companies and compared them, hopefully to aid you in your next purchase. The 3 jackets I'll be comparing are the Duluth Trading Company Superior Fire Hose Jacket, the Carhartt Full Swing Crider Jacket, and the Patagonia Iron Forge Hemp Canvas Ranch Jacket. Of course, these differ from one another, but I tried to get similar fully featured jackets from each company in an effort to see where they differ in their approaches, and I've gotta say, they are quite different. Now, in order to make this whole thing a little bit easier, let's break it down into 3 categories. That would be construction, features, and value. Let's begin with construction. The Duluth uses 11.5 ounce cotton fire hose fabric. The Carhartt uses 8.5 ounce quick duck canvas, which is made up of 59% cotton, 39% polyester, and 2% spandex. The Patagonia uses 12.9 ounce canvas, which is 55% industrial hemp, 27% recycled polyester, and 18% organic cotton. Now, regardless of makeup, these are all made of duck canvas. And this is probably the most popular woven material that you will find in workwear. And it's created by using 2 yarns in the warp and a single yarn in the weft. That basically means that alternating, weaving in and out of each other, you have 2 yarns going down, a single yarn going across, which creates that very even duck canvas look. So even though these jackets all use the same type of fabric, they vary greatly in their approach. For example, the Duluth fire hose material is probably the burliest of the group, with a noticeable texture and rigidity to it. Though I've worn holes in my fire hose Duluth gear before, it did take a long time, and I noticed that it seemed to fail near the rivets first. Additionally, this is treated with a fend-off fabric treatment, which is supposed to resist stains and repel water. Most of the time, these treatments will wear off over time since they're only applied over the top of the fabric, but you may be able to reapply your own DWR finish. The Carhartt is in their quick duck material and is noticeably lighter and more flexible than their traditional cotton duck. It supposedly retains the same durability. However, I haven't worn it long enough to see this for myself. This one's about a year old. And it too has a water and stain repelling finish, which they call Rain Defender. Of course, none of these jackets are rain jackets, and I think this is mostly a nice feature for the occasional passing shower or incidental overspray, but of the 3, this material feels the most like a casual jacket, since it moves very freely and has stretch panels woven in the back and the sides and all kinds of stuff, and you don't get any of that noise that you get from rougher fabrics thanks to the lighter 8.5 ounce weight. Finally, we have the Patagonia duck fabric, which is the most unique of the bunch, featuring their hemp blend. Now, hemp is a pretty incredible material, and it's supposed to be 25% more abrasion resistant than its cotton variant, and I've seen the tests done to prove this, and they do stand up to scrutiny, so I'd have to surmise that this is the toughest material of the bunch, also being the thickest at just under 13 ounces. There isn't any DWR finish on this one though, so keep that in mind. The fabric has a really cool pre-broken-in feeling too, making it almost as comfortable as the Carhartt. And along with that is the natural texture of the hemp blend with its cool neps, which make it feel kind of like an old favorite from the start. All of these jackets are insulated jackets and are meant to be worn in the cold. Without layering, it can be a little tricky to figure out which is the warmest because they all feel similar. The Carhartt and Duluth both use a thick Thinsulate by 3M, which is a fantastic product and keeps you very warm, and it can be found in tons of other products out there. This is a tried and true insulation. It's a synthetic insulation too, which means that it's not really affected by moisture like organic materials would be, like goose down. Patagonia went with a brand I've never heard before, but seems to be a similar weight and 100% synthetic makeup, and it's also 92% recycled. Of the 3, the Duluth is the warmest, followed by the Patagonia, then followed by the Carhartt. Of course, Layering is up to you, and you could really use any of these as a great outer layer. All of these jackets use a zipper closure, and all of them feature a different gauge YKK zipper. The Duluth is the heaviest of the three, and its plastic variety with a metal head and pull tabs is something that I've seen on a lot of Duluth gear in the past. Now the pull tabs are nice and big, so grabbing them with winter gloves won't be an issue. The Carhartt is next up with an all-metal YKK and custom Carhartt textured tab, which is extremely effective. Both the Duluth and the Carhartt have two-way zippers, which make wearing them while sitting down in a cab of a truck or a car very easy. The Patagonia uses the finest gauge YKK one-way zipper with the addition of a snap-closed storm flap. It's really hard to determine the efficacy of a zipper because it seems like they're all great until they get stuck. And I could really see where there may be more opportunity for large teeth to get damaged over smaller, though obviously larger teeth are ultimately stronger. It's kind of interesting to see the different choices each brand made in their product. Overall, the lining of a jacket seems to be of least concern to most people. The biggest consideration here is its ability to slide over whatever you're wearing. And all of these really do work perfectly well in that regard. The Duluth is probably the most familiar with its quilted nylon lining, which has been inside of millions of jackets over the years. The Carhartt takes a different approach though, with a combination of nylon and fleece, which makes wearing this one very comfortable, especially over a short sleeve shirt. The Patagonia again went their own way with recycled polyester. Now, it works well, but it definitely has a different feeling overall, being slightly crinkly feeling. And really though, I mean overall, they all work equally well. All of these jackets will deliver something unique and are quite a bit different from each other. So one thing to mention is that the Duluth and the Carhartt are actually in size large. So when you're looking at these, spinning fitment videos, keep that in mind. I went down a size for a medium in the Patagonia because I've learned through a couple of other Patagonia workwear items that I've owned that Patagonia is extremely generous with their fits, and a large fits me more like an XL. So for you, I would definitely suggest sizing down with all Patagonia gear as well. The Duluth Trading Company jacket reminds me a lot of military gear with its abundance of pockets and utilitarian design. This damn thing has a whopping 13 pockets, and it's either going to be the most useful jacket you've ever worn or a complete overkill. Pockets can be found on the sleeves with dedicated pen slots on one side and a Velcro flapped pocket on the other. I've never really used sleeve pockets that much, but they do come in handy for things like an ID badge or smaller cell phone. This one will not fit a typical iPhone or smartphone of today's variety. On the chest, there are two more pockets. One snapped secured flapped pocket with an interior pencil sleeve and a vertical zip pocket on the other side. This really gives you the best of both worlds, since a lot of people like to keep writing instruments or small tools in a chest pocket, which is better suited to a top opening style. The vertical pocket, however, is much easier to use, especially in a confined space like the cab of a vehicle. The hand warmer pockets are huge with a nice fleece lining. Duluth has reinforced the external sleeves with Cordura, which is where most jackets wear away first, and if you've ever seen a guy with strings hanging down from his sleeves, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Inside is a rib knit storm cuff to keep out the cold, and a drop tail hem aids in keeping you covered while bending over or crouching. This is a jacket which really embodies the Duluth mindset of more is more. It's a beefy, burly jacket with more storage than most people will ever need. The Carhartt Kreider jacket feels noticeably different than any other Carhartt jacket I've ever worn. It's almost like this is their version of workwear of the future. It's light, flexible, and packed with useful features. Of the three jackets, this is the one that I would want if I were caught in a snowstorm or a rainstorm because it has a removable hood, sleeve cuffs which cover your hands, or they can be folded back, and hand warmer pockets that can be secured and protected with a little snap flap. Inside, you'll find a zippered pocket that's big enough for an iPhone Plus on the left and a Velcro tabbed pocket on the right. On the exterior, you have two vertical chest pockets and two fleece-lined hand warmer pockets. The vertical pockets are a much better design than the top opening flapped pockets when it comes to ease of use, unless, like I mentioned before, you like storing a writing instrument or small tools like you would on a shirt. The hem features a drop tail as well and is adjustable with a drawstring, and if you're crouching over or bending at work, this is a feature which is really worth its weight in gold. Of course, as you can see on the inside, it has its full swing gussets, articulated elbows, and stretch panels, which makes for a very easy wearing jacket. It never feels like this jacket is fighting you the way older Carhartt gear used to. It just moves and flexes right along with you as needed, which is a welcome surprise. Overall, it feels like the most technically advanced jacket of the bunch. The Patagonia is the best looking of the group in my opinion, and also the most sparsely appointed, having only 5 pockets in total. 2 hand warmer pockets, 2 snap closure chest pockets with pencil openings from the outside, and 1 interior zippered pocket. Those hand warmer pockets are lined in the softest fleece I've ever felt in workwear and are truly the coziest of them all. Like the Carhartt in Duluth, it features shoulder gussets for freedom of movement and an internal rib knit cuff. Though the sleeves are much narrower than the other two. Now this adds to the good looks, but it also means that if you really like to layer up, movement may be inhibited. Further adding to the weather resistance is a snap closure storm flap over the zipper, keeping the cold from breaching this house of bricks, and again, a drop tail hem. Of them all, the ranch jacket is the one which walks the line between form and function with its slimmer cut and handsome design. You could wear this jacket casually or at work and it performs exceptionally well in both. I would love another internal pocket though, and maybe provisions for an add-on hood if I'm being picky. Being within $20 of each other means that it's not likely the price will be the determining factor when choosing any of these jackets. The Patagonia is the most expensive at $179, but it also delivers an exceptional jacket with the addition of all those responsibly sourced materials and of course that awesome hemp blend in the thickest material of the 3. I'd say this one wins for those who want their gear to look as good as it performs. Carhartt and the Duluth are very similarly priced, but the Kreider line, it just seems to be the most technically advanced jacket of the 3. This is sort of what their Kreider line delivers though, and I'm happy to see so many options for workers from one brand. And as I mentioned, this is the one that I would want if the weather turns sour, and I'd also say that it's probably the most technically advanced of the bunch. The Duluth takes the most traditional approach, being exactly what you'd expect from the typical work jacket. If these 3 were a combat team, this would be the Saw Gunner. It's tough, burly, and it has more storage than most people could ever ask for. So in the end, although these jackets are all drop-tail, insulated, shorter work jackets, they're all very different. And I hope that this video has helped illustrate the differences between the 3, because I've found that when I just look at the website description, a lot of times I'm left with more questions than answers, and it's very difficult to compare the 3 unless you have them right in front of you and you can wear them. So I hope that my research here has helped guide you in the next jacket that you may be buying. Now, links for all of these are in the description below. Some of them are affiliate links, which help this channel and don't cost you a thing, and I really appreciate if you use those. Beyond that, guys, that's all I have for you today. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time.